Everyone, welcome back. Let's start with the history of email today. So we went through all these browsers, internet, what is e-correspondence, etc. Now coming to the history of email. In 1965, MIT, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, was the first to demonstrate the use of first email system, which was known as mailbox. You need to remember this, guys. 1965 it started, and who started it? MIT, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, started it, and with them they had taken out a thing called mailbox. All right, and this was the first way of the email. Now the history of the email address can also be attributed to uh, Tomlin's, uh, Tomlin's son. He chose @ symbol to provide an addressing standard in the form of user @ host, which we actually use till now, right? Like for example, the email ID for me is chilpeesacademy@gmail.com. So @ symbol, we are still using it. And that is why Mr. Tomlin's son is called the father of the email, because he's credited with this invention. So remember, guys, this is important for your MCQ. Father of email, Tomlinson. Okay. Now, what happened after 1965? 1974, the email system got a little more improved, and it was being used by the military. All right, it was used by the US military. 1974, what happened was that email started being used by the US military, and then came 1975. It was more like a general operating area where things moved beyond the US military. And in this, what happened was it was known as an email account now, and they created users who wanted to avail the service. Access controlling was done by giving the user a secret password which only she could know. Separate folders were created like inbox and outbox. All right, so now every user got a separate what do you call, they all got a separate ID, separate password which only they knew. And in the process, when whatever email was coming was going to inbox, and whatever was being sent was going to the outbox. Then came the next era, 1972. I'm sorry, this is not in chronological order, because this is how it has been mentioned in your book also. They went to 74, 75, and then they came to 72. So in 72, what happened was the file transfer protocol was put in use to send email messages. However, FTP was created a separate email for every recipient and then dispatched it, which resulted in loss of memory space. Now, this file transfer protocol which was followed was a problem because it was taking up too much of space. What it was doing was that if I'm sending a mail to 3 people, say, it was putting a separate mail for every recipient and then it was dispatching it. So if I'm sending one to 50 people, it would create separate emails and then dispatch it to people. So this led to a lot of loss of memory space. Now came 1980. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol was developed for sending emails, and this was known as SMTP. Guys, you have to remember these full forms, that is your FTP, SMTP, and POP. So SMTP was your Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, right? And your POP is your Post Office Protocol, standard way of receiving emails. But POP had certain issues. The Internet Message Access Protocol, that is IMAP, was developed, through which one comes to know about the offline messages, that is messages received when the receiver is not signed in also. Okay. So what happened was, before probably in this POP, there were certain issues. I mean, there were issues like, say, for example, if the receiver is not online, then probably the message is not delivered in the proper format. So now in what happened was that now we came into a new system, that was your SMTP, and this was using your IMAP protocol, that is Internet Message Access Protocol. Now, for example, you send me an email at 1 a.m. and I'm sleeping that time. Tomorrow when I wake up, and the email would still be there for me. So even when I am not signed into my account, not logged into my account, I still receive the messages when I sign in. All right. So this was the new system, which was known as Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Now come to 1990s. It was free and user friendly, and email service providers had taken the industry by storm. I think in 1990s the email service had properly started. Okay, 65 it started with MIT. Then 72, this issue was there of the file transfer protocol. Then 74, military was using it. 75, general people were using it. 1980, SMTP was there. POP was taking too much of was not very practical. So people switched to SMTP format in which IMAP was being used. So this is the chronology, all right? Now come 1990s and the entire system changed. Internet service providers took the world by storm. I think most of us of my generation in India, we got our email IDs in 1990s only. Okay. Yeah, we got it in 1990s, all our email IDs. Because and that time it was always Hotmail, Yahoo, these kind of email IDs which were in use, all right? The free and user-friendly email service providers took the industry by storm. Yahoo and Hotmail were competing for the market share. Now there are more than 600 million email users, and most of them have Gmail or Gmail. I'm thinking nowadays it's Gmail. So now Gmail and Rediff had also entered. Initially it was by Yahoo and Hotmail, then Gmail and Rediff also entered, right? Now coming to features of email. What are the features of email? We'll quickly go through this because it's really basic, guys. So it's an electronic message and the transmission is HTML, hypertext markup language. Remember this. The computer code is used to create the web pages. It is simply cost effective because actually there's no money involved if you see in a way. You just need a basic computer and internet service connection, and email is free of cost in that way if you see, right? So it's cost effective. Packages like Messenger and Outlook help us compose new emails or forward the received ones to one or all of the people whose email addresses are stored in the address box. It allows us to change font, size, color, highlight, delete, align, center, justify, bold, italicize, underline, and all these things. Okay. So what is there in the package? The best part with Outlook is that whoever's emails you have stored in your address box, you can type and simply shoot an email and all the people in your address box gets that email. So that's the best part about it. And not just that, whatever is the text that you've received, you can change the text. I think all of you know this, what is bold of the text, what is italics of the text, you know, when the text becomes like in italic format, like I'll just show you here itself. This is your bold, this is your italic, this is your underlined text. You can change the font, you can change the size of the font. All these things can be done on the email. You can store, save, highlight. All of you know on the top I had highlighted the father of the email. So that is known as highlight. Then you can align. This is how, this is left side alignment. This is center alignment. This is right side. And this is justified when it covers the entire margin. Now, interface between email program and word processing program allows us to cut, copy, paste material from one to another. All of you know what is cut, copy. That is one interface, how it is being used. Attachments, you all know we can attach whatever we want. That pin kind of an option will come, no, that you click on that and you attach whatever you want, picture, video, presentation, PPT, Excel, etc., etc. Spam is again all the junk mail. Somehow this is the email system understands the IDs and it feels is junk. It will not even show you. It will go to your spam folder. I think you know what? I just remembered a joke in the spam folder. My husband told me around 3 months back when that lockdown, the first lockdown was going on. He told me that I have become so bored that you know what? I literally opened and checked the emails on my spam folder also. And when he told that, I actually remembered there's something called spam folder in our account also, which I just never open, you know, the spam folder of our emails. So that is one junk mail where all the junk mails are there. Signature, all of you know, if you would have received emails by us, you can see at the bottom, my signature will be fixed. Thanks and regards, CS Shilpi Periwal, the Academy's address, and my social media links. So all that is a type of signature which you can fix it, and the same signature will be there in all your emails. The bottom part will always be the same in all the emails. That is your signature. It's not that signature which you sign, all right? It's at the bottom, whatever you want to appear, it will appear in all the emails. So most of the people put their name, phone number, address, or their social media handles these days. Search option, we can, yes, of course, a lot of times, you know, when you lose out on the email, you have a search bar over there. When you click some words on it, a particular email opens up. Cloud storage, all of us know that I think most of you were getting your video classes now. A lot of them were sending it on Google Drive instead of pen drives. So Google Drive is your cloud storage, right? Where up to 15 GB you get free on email. If you want more storage, you can purchase it up to 100 GB. So that is your cloud storage. Next is your changes at the workplace. Correct. So now changes in the workplace has made emails effective because the timings are different. People are sitting at different places. Now the entire culture is work from home. So this is very. Now, what are the features of an email account? I'll quickly run you through this. All of you know the inbox. All of you know the sent mail, draft, spam, trash. Okay. Now I'll just show it to you. Actually, to be easier to explain. Academy website. This is your inbox, right? In this inbox, all the emails which is coming on this inbox. It would be stored in this inbox, right? The sent folder is the one where whatever emails I have sent would be stored over here. Correct? Now, next is your draft. Draft is in case I was typing some email which I did not complete and send, it will not lose itself. Like, okay, for example, sometimes it happens, no, we are typing an email and we are almost halfway through and the net connection goes off, or suddenly in between we have to leave. So all that emails, what you have not sent, will be saved in this draft folder. Okay. Now, apart from this, there is a trash folder also, spam or the trash folder, which is there. Here it is. Yeah. So this is the spam folder. This is the first time I'm opening it, guys. So this is the spam folder where all the emails which is considered as junk by the Gmail is put over here as spam. Okay. So that's all about it. The messages which you have created but not sent is in draft. Spam is your junk mail. And spam mails are identified by mail service and placed in this folder. So mail service itself understands it and they're automatically deleted after a few days. That's the best part about spam. It doesn't really take much space because it automatically keeps on deleting itself. Trash. Trash is any email which you've deleted goes to trash. It allows you to get back an email within few days. In case you deleted an email by mistake, it goes to the trash folder, which you can recover if you want. How we have recycle bin in our computer desktop, just the same. Okay. Now, what are the various options which we have in email account? One is your compose email, contacts, your subject, your text area, your sent, and your group contacts. All right. Now, compose email, I think most of you know. In the contacts part, the contacts helps you to find the email address whom you have saved in your contact list. All right. And in this, there are two very important things. One is your CC and one is your BCC. CC is your carbon copy and the full form of BCC is blind carbon copy. Means the carbon copy which the others cannot see. All right. Now this I would like to explain it to you. This 1000 MCQ book which I had emailed to everyone, all the email IDs I had copy pasted and put it in the BCC folder. Because if I put it in the CC folder, then the email privacy would not have been there because anyone getting the email could see all the emails to whom I have sent. Okay. So if I put say 50 email IDs on the BCC folder, none of you can see each other's email IDs. Okay. I have sent it to all of you and you can only see that it has come to you. You cannot see the other IDs to whom I have sent it. But if I put it a CC2, then you can see to which other IDs I have put this email to. That is the basic difference between CC and BCC. CC, if I send it to 5 people, sorry, if I send it to 5 people, then all the 5 can see their email IDs. But if I put it as BCC, all the 5 cannot see their email ID, right? Now the next is subject. All of you know this part. We put the subject there, which part subject is that part of the email which is seen by you even before you open the email, and that makes you decide whether you want to open this email or not. Subject is the main heading of the email. It will explain that the email is regarding which issue. Note that subject should be descriptive of the mail to help the receiver understand without having to open the mail. So without you opening the email, the moment you see the subject, you can decide what is there in the email, whether you want to open and read it or not, whether you want to do it now or later. So that is what is subject. It is something which is there without it opening the email. Text, you all know where is the text area. Whatever you put on the text is text area. Send is you can send the email by clicking the send button. Okay. Now, this is your compose button. You click on this, and if you can see this compose button, this is your to button, this is your subject, this is what you see, and this entire thing is your signature part. Okay, this is the attachments through which you can attach the files, and these all things are there which you can justify. You know, you can bold the text, italicize it, change the font, underline it, change the color, align the text, put the bullet points, and all these things. Okay. So this is all about your email that we were studying. And yes, I'll just show you the CCBCC copy also. So if I put over here a subject, say I put my ID Shilpi.Karnani. This I have put in 2. Now if you see over here, there's a small option called CC. If I click CC and if I put Shilpi, if I put SVS sourcing, say for example, what happens, and if I put another email ID like Dimcha, say for example, so SVS and Dimcha can see that they both have received the same email. But if I put it as BCC, then the email ID which I put over here, they cannot see who are the other people who have got this email. Okay. I hope this is clear with you all. Okay, so these 3 people whom I have put on BCC cannot see that all the 3 people have received the email. They 3 cannot see their each other's email IDs. All right. Now coming on to the next topic, that is your electronic mail system. Today, companies are able to customize their email to meet the unique communication tools. Email management tools in the market can help entrepreneurs and managers address a wide array of issues, from excessive volume or excessively large file attachment, which can clog the email, and virus detection, spam blocking, etc. So what they do is they customize their email services. Okay, customizing their email services, what they do is that they would not have @gmail.com. They would have @ in their website thing at the back. Okay, like for example, it is say for example, it is hello@shilpisacademy.com. Okay, so that is our like our own domain. So they kind of use these tools so that not too much of clogging is there. It does not, so that you don't put too much of like extra files and all those things. So what is electronic mail system? Nowadays, people are able to customize their email service. What happens is a lot of big companies, they are flooded with emails. Okay, and when you have too much emails on your inbox, what is happening is it kills productivity. So there is this new concept called email management tool. There are many email management tools which is available in the market, and it helps the companies by, it kind of automatically prioritizes your emails, the emails which you want to see, and that would come on the top. There are many other things. You can actually already like automate your email system. For example, you can have 10 emails which you want to send every day, one each every day, not at a time. So you can put up that kind of a system also. There are many other systems which is there through this electronic mail system. So what happens is the clogging of email doesn't happen. That means it doesn't, the storage doesn't get overfull, and virus detection can be done, and there's a lot of spam blocking facility, so that the spam emails do not find its place into your inbox and kill your time in opening and deleting them. That is one huge benefit of electronic mail system. Now coming to optimizing personal email use. Okay. So what are the guidelines which we can follow? The standards of professionalism dictate that postal correspondence should have proper grammar, spelling, tone, courtesy, structure, content. So even though you're writing an email, it's not a letter, but all the formalities has to be followed in the email also. You should make sure that your grammar is proper, your spellings are proper, there is a proper tone, there is a proper courtesy in the entire structure. That's very important. Avoid emote icons. Emote icons, I really hate to see emote icons in my formal emails. All right, I mean, that is not the place. Okay, emote icons are best used in WhatsApps or Telegrams or wherever it is with friends. It is not a nice thing to do it with your official communication. So you should avoid the emote icons. Definitely maintain separate accounts for official and personal emails. And in fact, most of the companies have firewalls. Firewalls is something where if you're trying to open something like that in the system, it will not open because there's a firewall on it. Okay, that means you cannot go through that. So they only allow you to open the email boxes of the company. Okay, so for example, the company's email box could be hello@shilpisacademy.com. Only that would open. But if you open your own personal email on Gmail or Yahoo, that would not open. Okay, so they should have a that is one thing. You need to maintain separate accounts for personal and professional. And second thing is you should have a proper, you should avoid spamming. Definitely, please do not spam on the email. Like And it's very strict also. The email spamming is very strict. If you can only send emails, bulk emails, to people who are there on a subscriber list, else it is very easy for your account to get blocked. The next is your limit the size of attachments to be received or sent. And a lot of organizations allow only say 10 MB of attachments to be sent, so that people don't send too much of graphics or brochures and videos on the attachments. So that is one thing. Limit the size of the attachments to be sent. It helps to prevent virus attacks also. Yes, have a standard signature for your official email. As I showed you, my standard signature, most of the standard signature on the emails will always end with the name. Like for example, Shilpi Periwal, founder and CEO of Founder and Faculty at Shilpi's Academy, the phone number, etc. And the moment you get your email, it's best to reply it as promptly as possible, at least within 24 hours. Although nowadays what has happened is that since all the phones also you access emails, people expect the reply at a much lesser time, right? So in case you have got an official email where you need to write out a big thing, at least just acknowledge the email by sending received thanks. I would be sending you all the details within 2 days. That is also good, but not replying is seen in a bad taste. So non-response gives out wrong signals. Then have daily email practices. Don't keep on just seeing the email every minute, every 15-20 minutes. Not required. At least 3 times in a day should be good enough. Right? Then is your delete the old messages. Yes. Review the incoming emails only 2 to 3 times a day. Yes, especially rather than peeking at each one. Yeah, that's the best productive way to do it. Instead of replying to each email at a go, you can have a system of opening it once in the morning, once after lunch, and once in the evening. So whatever emails has come during that time, you can reply all at once. Invest in supplementary tools that can block email spam. There are a lot of tools available in the market which do not allow the spam count to come to your inbox. It really saves our precious time. Use the reply and reply all feature with care, because sometimes if there are 10 people who are linked to your ID through CC and a lot of the other senders are there, but you want to just send it to one person, then make sure that you're replying to that person and don't use the reply all feature. Else the same email goes to all the people and then it unnecessarily creates a lot of confusions. All right. Now coming on to the next part, that is your proper email correspondence. We've already explained to you about all this part. We'll come to email etiquette. This is also really simple, guys. I mean, I think you can do it yourself. Okay. Anyways, you need to mind your manners, of course. You need to be saying something like please, thank you, sorry. Address people by Mr., Mrs., dear. Be concise. Concise means don't give one para introduction about what is not required. Okay. Like get to the point as quickly as possible. Hello, sir. Hope you all are in good health. And don't say hello, hope you all are in good health. How is your parents? How are your kids at home? So did you I mean where did school are your kids going? Don't do all that crap. Okay, just come right to the point after a basic professional courtesy introduction. Right? Be professionals, of course. Don't use emoticons, don't use unnecessary exclamations and short forms. Not nice. Proper spelling and grammar, and wait to fill in the to email address. This will keep you from accidentally sending an email prematurely. Yeah. So make sure that you fill in the to email address correctly. It's very important. In fact, you can actually type out the email first and then put the address on the to email address. That is a more sensible way of doing it. Now, coming on to the next part, that is what is the advantages of using email. It's easy, it's fast, it's inexpensive, easy to filter, the transmission is secure and reliable. Of course, it is easy, right? Just sit on the computer, you just type a few things, click a few buttons, and your email is gone. So it's super easy, it's super fast. Within a few seconds, it reaches the person, wherever that person could be in the world, right? It could be in US, it could be sitting right next room. Everything reaches in a few seconds. Email is super fast. That's the best part about it. It's inexpensive, right? You don't need anything else. As I told you, just a computer and an internet connection, you're good to go. You don't have to call, you don't have to send letters, you don't have to pay for courier charges, nothing. Email is easy to filter. The subject line prioritizes the message. You can just quickly read the subject and understand whether you want to open it or whether you want to just quickly give a scan through, or whether you should open it over the weekend. So it's very easy to filter because there are subject lines, and in fact, Gmail inbox itself now has three portions, right? It is primary and your social and promotion. So all your social emails of Facebook, YouTube, etc., it all just goes to the social thing, it doesn't come to your primary inbox. So it's very easy to filter also. The transmission is secure and reliable. Yes, of course, there is the security is high. If I'm sending an email to you, mostly it will not be received by anyone else in between, correct? It's not the same thing with the letter, right? When I'm sending a letter to you, in between, it could be land in anyone's hands. So the transmission of it, the sending of it and the receiving of it is much more secure. Telephone and fax is sometimes not. I don't know if you people know about it, but in our time when we were kids, landline used to have a lot of cross connections. Okay, it's like you could actually hear two other people talking a lot of times. So this is one thing. Email is private, and fax machine can also go out of order, etc. Right. So this was a very, very small chapter, guys. This was an easy, simple lesson. I'll quickly do the disadvantages of email also before ending this video. Now, in one way, they are saying email is fast, but in the disadvantage, they're saying it's time consuming. Now, as you all know, this fast and time consuming are extremely related words, okay? It is fast when compared to a letter, but it is time consuming when, because when you see that you have to type out certain things, you have to, you know, uh, type out the things, and sometimes you need to draft it properly. All those things are there. So writing an email takes less time than print a letter or to mail, which in email implies that an average person may do more correspondence electronically than he would if all correspondence was done by postal email. So definitely it is less time than the letters, but still it is time consuming in certain ways. Okay. Next is your security. Sometimes it is very secure, but in the same time, there is threat of security. It is secure when it is compared to letters, but it is not so secure in certain ways. Why? Let's read about this. Sensitive information can easily be shared and distributed within a business through email. It does not matter if the email is sent accidentally or deliberately, the damage remains the same. When someone hands you a business letter, you are the only person to receive that letter. An email can be intercepted by a hacker or go to an incorrect email. It's not like that with a letter. It's although it is addressed to you, but it could be opened by someone also. Okay. In email, the the hacker attack threat is there, and then by mistake it could go to a wrong email ID also. So you should be very careful about transmitting sensitive information over email because it's not 100% safe also. And email is faster, definitely, but sometimes the meaning of the message gets lost because it makes customers and employees forget that there are people involved in the transaction. It can affect customer service. Interpretation is a problem. That is a problem with most of the written communication. There are a lot of times when we are sending messages to each other, I am sending something, you are understanding something. So the best thing is to call and clarify the things. But email sometimes is misunderstood because of the way the language was written meant something else from my end and was received as something else from your end. Or even sometimes one small typo mistake can entirely change the meaning, right? So now coming to misunderstandings, popular jargons, pronouns, etc. They also they also lead to misunderstanding of the people, between the people. Sorry. Vulnerability, it could take a manual effect on the part of someone to access all his important printed document and destroy them. But all your email and important information can be lost by a hard drive crash. Even if you choose another server, you could lose if your data goes out, site goes down or goes out of business. Now, email depends on the internet connectivity, which can be distributed or disconnected due to various reasons. It cannot be considered a confidential mode. It is never a replacement for direct face-to-face. It cannot be relied for emergency messages because you don't read it immediately. It depends on internet connectivity, which can be disrupted. All right. Now, let's talk about the vulnerability. See, what happens is that in email, that you're very vulnerable. Okay, say I had a lot of email which was there on, say, Hotmail. Now there is no more Hotmail. That server is out of the market. The server site could have crashed for some reason. Then what happens? All your information is lost, right? However, if you had everything stored in letters, in hard paper, in hard documents, it is very rare that someone would come and burn all your hard documents. Okay, so hard documents is sometimes a much more safer way. because you cannot always 100% rely on cloud storage. That is one thing of your vulnerability. Then next thing is that email is never confidential because it could be hacked into, right? The IDs could be hacked. And it is sometimes emails are misunderstood, as I told you, right? When sometimes messages are misunderstood, I have a habit of calling up. The best thing to do is face to face. The misunderstandings is mostly very less when you're trying to communicate something if you're talking face to face. Okay, it's always easier to clarify the misunderstandings when it is a face to face conversation. Emergency, it is not the right source, because if I am sending an email to you at 7 p.m., you might probably check it at morning 10 a.m. only. So a phone call cannot be replaced by an email always. And internet connectivity, yes, in this lockdown period, a lot of the places in the interiors were not having good internet connectivity. So email kind of loses its purpose in such cases. All right. Now, this is all about your internet things. Before we go on to intranet, I would like to take a break. All right, so all of you guys take a break. This was an easy lesson, right? You just did about a little bit about World Wide Web and internet, then all about your emails, the advantages, the disadvantages. If you notice, most of the advantage itself is the disadvantage, right? Because advantages when we are comparing it with letters or some other format of communication. Disadvantages when we compare it to, say, a direct communication or a letter communication, whatever it could be. So this is how this entire lesson has been done. Not going to learn about internet. We're going to learn about intranet. Okay. How many of you knew that there was something called intranet also? There is something called intranet also. In the entire chapter, we understood about the difference between internet and World Wide Web. Most of us used to think that probably it's the same, but it was not, right? So in this chapter, we are going to study about internet. Let's get started. So the word intra means within or internal. It's like the internet, except that it contains information specific to the particular organization. External people are not there in the network. It implies that only the company employees who are there on that server can access the pages. The benefits is it allows a central communication area for the entire company. It gives information to everyone within the company regardless of their location. All the employees get to know about it. Now see, what happens is, internet is something where the information is shared with everyone and anyone in the entire world. Intranet is particular for that company. A huge company like, say, Reliance, it has probably like thousands and thousands of employees, and they could be having employees all over the world, branches all over the world. They have this system called intranet, where on their server all the employees can share what's happening for the latest updates of the project, and everyone who is in that company gets access to that information. So this is only for the internal people of that company. All right, outsiders cannot access this information. So this is an amazing way of having a central communication system where the entire company can be a part of it. All right. So now, what is the benefits of intranet? It increases the workforce productivity. The time which is required for information reduces. Now, say for example, some information has to be shared with 5,000 employees. You cannot really forward a bulk email to all of them, right? It takes a lot of time, and the best way to do it is share it on the intranet server. So everyone who's the company employees has access to it. Say you have a brochure of a new product. You don't have to separately send the brochures to everyone. It's there on the internet server. So anyone who wants access to it, anyone as in anyone company employees who want access to it can access it. So it saves time, it increases the productivity, because whatever you want, whatever information you want, you don't have to search into folders. Everything is there on the intranet, right? Then communication, it's a powerful tool for communication within the organization, because they are up to date with whatever is happening in the company, right? Companies like, it's like their world, it's the world of the employees, and they can stay connected on what is happening. Then web publishing. It allows cumbersome corporate knowledge to be maintained and easily accessed throughout the company using hypermedia and web technologies like employee manuals, benefits documents, company policies, business standards, news feeds. So all this, any orientation that an employee has to go through, or any of the new brochures, or what are the policies of the company, everything can be maintained on the web, and everything can be published properly on the web. You don't have to use any other medium for it, accessing all these information. Then is your business operation and management. It's a platform for developing and deploying applications to support business operation and decisions according to the inter-network enterprise. So whatever the business, whatever operations has to be done, how to manage the entire company, everything can be done with the help of intranet. It makes the process much more smoother. It's cost effective, definitely. Users can view information and data via web browser rather than maintaining physical documents, which saves a lot of money, because all these brochures, and instead of, imagine all the 5,000 employees getting a set of brochures, a set of company policies, it would be very costly, right? So everything, and it would occupy a lot of space also, and all these things can be put on the web for the employees. It enhances collaboration, of course, because everyone can access it, everyone can put their comments on it. It's kind of a teamwork, right? Then every user has the ability to use the same information. It is possible to provide audience with live changes, so they are kept up to date. This is an amazing thing. Okay, like for example, you put some brochure on intranet, and after 3-4 days you note some errors and you want to change it. So whatever you're changing over there is available live to everyone. All right, you don't have to again send the copy of it to all the people. Whatever you want, you can go edit on it, and it's available live for everyone. So it's a very cost effective way. You want to make changes, amendments, everything is possible, and you don't have to send it separately to everyone, right? It supports a distributed computing architecture. It can be, of course, whatever is the MIS system, we've already read about it. What is the MIS system? So this is one thing which can be integrated with the MIS system. Now, what is the purpose of intranet? Why do you think intranet is there? The most important thing is internal communication. The company wants all of its employees to be connected, to have access to common information. For all these things, intranet is the best way to do it. Okay, so the internet is one of the most important tools for internal communication in a company. They are also being called as corporate cultural change platforms. For example, large number of employees discussing key issues in an internet forum application could lead to new ideas in management, productivity, quality, and other corporate issues. So say, for example, a company is uh, suffering from something where the sales are not pushing for the company. Okay, like the company is not able to increase their sales, and because of that the employees are also scared that if the company does not do well, they might lose their jobs. So on this internet forums, all the employees can pour their things out, like, probably we feel that our company can do wonders if it can improve more on its after sales service, or if it can come out with new product launch. So all these discussions of the company employees can happen on a forum which can be accessed by everyone, and this can lead to amazing new ideas and teamwork, and which would anyway enhance the productivity and quality of the company, right? This is one very important feature of intranet. It's like, you can say, like when you do these small meetings, Zoom discussions, it's like a wider way of doing something like that. Okay, where the entire company employees can uh, do discussions on that forum. Okay, it's not like internet discussion forum where everyone and anyone from the world is coming. This is only for that company, people who are coming, the employees of the company. Now, when part of the intranet is made accessible to customers and others outside the business, it becomes part of an extranet. Businesses can send private messages through the public network using special encryption, decryption, and other security safeguards to connect one part of their intranet to another. This is very important, guys. What is extranet? Okay, intranet is when it is internal communication within the business only, within the company only. However, when you're using this internet to communicate with your customers, to your clients, to your suppliers, they are all outsiders, right? They're external people. So when you do this, it is known as extranet. Now, this can be done through public network, and yeah. Now, intranet are managed by the communications HR department of large organization, or some collaboration among these. So generally, it is maintained by the media department, communication department, HR department, depending on this company's size. Okay. So, guys, in this lesson, if you notice for this entire e-correspondence chapter, what I feel the most important hotspot things that you need to remember is your internet, and www is different, right? And HTML, HTTP, all these full forms, all right? Then the history of email, 1965 to 1990s. The first two free email service providers, the father of the email, all these things are important to be remembered. Internet and World Wide Web, how they are different, all right? Then the basic things about the compose, the signature element, what happens, what is stored in draft, what happens to trash, I mean, what happens to spam? Does it get automatically deleted? Those kind of things you need to remember, the basic things, the benefits, the advantages and disadvantages of emails, and they're mostly related, right? Then after doing all that, you need to remember the various web browsers, and in intranet, you need to remember what is the basic purpose of intranet, how does it help, the Steam discussion forums, then what is extranet, these kind of things you need to remember. Try to understand all this conceptually, give a rough reading and try to understand all this conceptually. So any question, MCQ, might not be directly lifted from the book and asked, but it would be something, if you understand the concept of intranet, you will be able to reply to that. Hence, I would always suggest to understand the concepts of every lesson and not just, solve MCQs and go. I mean, even if probably, maybe 10% chance it can help you in clearing the exams, but we're not really looking forward to clear an CSET exam only. We are looking forward to become professional company secretary. So let's work like that, all right? I mean, hard work never goes waste. Knowledge never goes waste. So do it with a lot of fun. Do it with a lot of focus. Do it with a lot of enjoyment, and we'll have fun, guys. Okay. So this kind of ends your chapter. Till then, bye bye. Good night.